Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm noticing this kind of like, man, there's kind of like a scientific terminology kind of PC going on. It's like, okay, listen, whether we call our tyrannical dictatorship fascist, communist, Marxist, fascist, socialist, national, neoconservative, it doesn't matter in the end if you got tyrannical dictatorship. It doesn't matter. We could call it Frank. Yeah, our government's called Frank. He says we can't talk about it. Uh, that's our constitution. We can't talk about it. It doesn't matter what you call it, how you try to describe it. It still is tyrannical, extremism and totalitarianism. Okay, so when it comes to chemtrails, whether you want to fancy it up and call it, look, persistent contrail, and then it switches to geothermal engineering. Now it's uh, solar radiation management, which are all great terminology, and they all describe the phenomena going on. We could call the phenomena John. I saw John in the sky today. I took some pictures of John. John was bright and shiny. Okay, listen. Regardless if we call it John or solar radiation management, or if we call it uh, geothermal engineering, or we call it uh, persistent contrail, or if we call it chems, it doesn't matter. In the end, it's all chemicals in the sky. The fact, listen, if I label my video chemtrail laser beam, and listen, you look and it looks like a chemtrail laser beam, and look, you should just watch it and take it into consideration. I ain't say you ain't gotta believe it. Listen, if you believe I'm a magician and I can conjure lights in the sky, more power to you. If you think I can fake this or something, well, more power to you, man. You'll do some more research. Always come to your own conclusions, but I'm telling you, I have got so much phenomena of crazy stuff in the sky, and then not no, just me, but they're talking about floating skies or floating castles in the sky, and light pillars and all kinds of other mess. So uh, I'm just saying, listen, it's just like we need more unity in certain areas, and less kind of like internal imposed division. Like, oh, if you don't want to speak the terminology, I won't accept you over here. Can't we just meet a happy medium? If I label my video chemtrail, you don't like that, but you see the phenomena, you know the scientific name. Hit me a link and say, hey, can I use that footage? Can I borrow those pictures? Uh, and can I change the name? And I will say, sure, thank you. I wish you would have contacted me sooner. You know what I mean? So it's this type of game out here. It's like, listen, uh, I'm not. No one's paying me to do this, so I gotta dedicate my own time into it. But I mean, dude, since it's going on out there, I'm not gonna let this go on by. I'm not gonna let this awesome opportunity to document it and expose it slip on by. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you guys are gonna let this opportunity that I'm sacrificing, listen, slip on by if you can make a difference. Just over slang terminology versus it's like this phenomena has only been going on a few years. You know what I'm saying? So it's all new to everyone. It can't be that old because it's a new science. They haven't been doing it forever, and if they have, they've really ramped it up now. So it's all fresh to everyone. You could just say they got a big can of aerosol, like a spray paint can connected to the plane, and they spray it in the sky, and it decreases the amount of sun, or it traps the heat in, or it pushes the moisture out. I mean, it's not that difficult to explain how this stuff is working. I mean, you don't got to know exactly how it works, but if they were spraying that up there, why would they do it? And if they was, what would the effects be? It's not that hard to figure out. Oh, you spraying particles in the sky? Well, you must be trying to blot out the sun. Or are these particles is it poison particles? Or are these magnetically charged particles? Are these, you know what I'm saying? It's just, there's only so many reasons they would do that. And here's the worst key factor indicator. They're totally silent about it. It's total radio silence on it from the mainstream, from the higher up. That lets you know that it's bad, whatever. That there's only one reason they will not tell you. It's not to save you from the bad guys. To it's because if you knew, there'd be so much upheaval about it that they have to keep it totally under wraps, man. And I mean, it's everywhere. I'm seeing it happening all over the planet. There's no way to keep something like this under wraps. You know what I'm saying? So just this is a word of encouragement, to somewhere maybe get middlemen between just your bulk stuff coming in, pictures, videos, and get it in the hands of people who can edit the video or whatever and make it presentable for better audiences. If you don't like the way that the little guys are gathering footage, man, because I mean, if me and this guy from Canada speak the same chem language, we're actually communicating better and learning more by our cooperation and our co-observations than arguing about the terminology when we listen. Let's get familiarized with everything, and we'll learn the terminology as we go. And people got to. I mean, I understand how the high guys, man. The dude's been doing it for a long time. Sharpest tool in the shed around here. But I mean, it's like, look, there's got to be a way to make it work without, you know what I'm saying? Either way, man, you swing all that chem exposure or back around to the solar radiation management. Either way you say it, it's still the same thing. So look, you just got to also express that. You know what I'm saying? And then that will resolve the matter. And even if people keep saying either way, scientific, slang, they'll still know that you're referring to the same thing. And it's not woo-woo conspiracy when you say chemtrail. It's an everyday part of life now, like the weather, because it's for controlling the weather and behavior modification applications as well. And you can look into all these patents, DARPA weapons and different stuff. I mean, Defense Department stuff. I mean, there's stuff out there that alludes that they've thought of things like this. So it ain't that hard to just put two and two together and be like, oh, they thought about doing this. They thought about, oh, they wanted to make a gay bomb. Oh, they wanted to put fleas in a bomb and drop them out of a plane on people. Oh, they were shooting salt in the sky in Vietnam and making storm clouds. You know what I mean? Oh, they beamed the Iraqi soldiers with voice to skull, and it was Allah, and then they beamed a figure of Allah in the sky, and it said, drop your weapons. And this really happened. You know what I mean? So it might, to someone who's totally unfamiliar with this whole alien false flag, Ronald Reagan, Star Wars, von Braun, alien asteroid, New World Order psyop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all the information's out there. It's compiled. Just dig into it. Dig into all that stuff and look into it. I mean, listen, you ain't got to believe everything you hear. Listen, if I wasn't out here seeing it for myself, taking pictures of it, I wouldn't believe it neither. But the fact that I've seen it for years and it hasn't stopped, it's been persistent, it's getting worse, consistent. So I would be an idiot not to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? How long can you walk around with your head up your backside? You know what I'm saying? Before you start to get a kink in your neck and you gotta, straighten your back out.